right. So he's writing in this elliptical, aphoristic, parabolic, metaphorical way. He's basically using all the sort of strategies and rhetorical devices of writing poetry, right? Which is, um, a very sort of ambiguous sort of form. And he's trying to do that in order to write philosophy, right? And so, as Pippin points out here, he's really trying to say, hey, this isn't the standard philosophy. I don't want to write standard philosophy. I don't want to write in that cookie cutter way. Writing in a cookie cutter way or writing philosophy in a cookie cutter way sort of is the problem he's trying to point at. And then as you go here, right? So again, more about this parabolic, metaphorical, and aphoristic writing style, right? So he's constantly talking, bringing like stars, animals, trees, and tarantulas into the story, dreams. Zarathustra's talking to all these figures, all these animals. Um, and so it's kind of like, an LSD trip at certain points. Um, and so here Pippin makes a good point, right? So it's interesting that he uses this highly figurative literary style to do philosophy. Philosophy is usually considered to be clarifying what is unclear. It's trying to reveal things, whereas literature or poetry is trying to hide things. So you have this tension going on in the text, right, between clarity and between an ambiguity. Okay. And then some points here as we go through it. Where's my next point here? Okay, so um, and so Zarathustra in the first part will, trying to be bringing his ideas, his philosophy, his teachings to people, try to teach them, and then in the second part we'll find him, wandering, uh, and he'll eventually give up on that. So he tries to be this teacher, right? Um, who's basically who fails. So he's operating in a Socratic, in a Jesus type way, but they're in contrast to Socrates and Jesus, or at least to Jesus. There's like no real success. So people don't really listen to Zarathustra, so they're not getting his ideas right, and so the first two parts are really a type of failure of his teaching. But again, that's part of the parody of the text. The great philosopher or the great religious person uh, who has something to say and no one listens to it.